This weekend, our nation is pausing to remember the lives lost at the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and in a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Tomorrow marks the 20-year anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, one of the darkest days in American history. Good evening. I'm Art Franklin. One of the victims of the attacks was from East Alabama. CBS 42's Sherry Jackson talked to Major Dwayne Williams' brother, who's working to keep his memory alive.
Art, of the nearly 3,000 people who died on 9/11, 125 military deaths happened inside the Pentagon that day. Among the faces, Alabama native Army Major Dwayne Williams. He had just started his assignment at the Pentagon in July of 2001. I spoke to his brother about how they are remembering him on this 20th anniversary of the attacks. September 11th, 2001.
These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat.
Will be remembered differently this year.
It talks of a quiet rage in Washington.
Americans can reflect on how the war on terror started and how it ended.
I don't want people to think that this 20 years was done in vain.
That's the lens Roy Williams will be looking through as he reflects on the day his brother, Major Dwayne Williams, died in the attack on the Pentagon.
Yeah, I remember when we first saw the images of the Pentagon had been struck. I was working as a reporter at the Birmingham News and preparing to probably have to do a story like so many of us were that day, a localized story. We did not know that literally an hour and a half later that the Pentagon where Dwayne was working was going to be struck. And life as we know it changed.
Most audacious terrorist attack.
The local story I reported that day was about giving blood.
We want to take you now live to one of the sites.
It would be a blood sample that brought closure for the Williams family days after the attack.
My mother flew up to Washington, D.C. They were flying family members up to give blood to be able to identify the remains. Dwayne was in the second of the three rings of the Pentagon that were punctured. Unfortunately, 10 days later, we found out when they came to my mother's door that he had been killed. Our hearts sank, but at least we knew that, we were able to have some closure.
To this day, there are more than 1,100 victims of the World Trade Center attacks whose remains have not been identified. Part of a national tragedy, Major Dwayne Williams' mother, Pearl, has worked tirelessly for us to never forget, spearheading this memorial in his name at Jacksonville City Cemetery, where Alabamians gather to remember.
She made it her life's mission to continue to honor Dwayne's legacy. She organized this golf tournament. She wrote a book, a hero called Fish.
Fish is the nickname Dwayne had growing up, where his three younger brothers all looked up to him. Troy and Kim Williams even followed his footsteps to serve in the military. Roy has also written a book in his brother's honor. His brother Kim has written a song.
This song is dedicated to the victims of September 11th and to my brother, Major Dwayne Williams.
Please, as you do honor, pay tribute to the victims of 9/11, that if people on this 20th anniversary will put aside this political bickering, put aside all of this arguing over red states versus blue states, put aside all this argument over race and COVID, and just for one moment, unite as one nation under God. I think that's the best way to honor their memory.
Army Major Dwayne Williams would have turned 60 years old this year. His brother Roy told me that their mother is battling COVID pneumonia right now, and they are hoping that on the morning of September 11th, she'll be able to go to Jacksonville City Cemetery, where they honor Dwayne every year, and at least be able to view the ceremony from the car. Art?
Sherry, thanks for that. And Major Dwayne Williams will be honored during the ceremony in Jacksonville tomorrow. The remembrance ceremony will be held at the Jacksonville City Cemetery. It runs from 9 o'clock until 11 o'clock in the morning.